Huge matchup this weekend for ASU football on the road after a bye week, taking on Oklahoma State. Big key question, Anthony Totri, is do you get redshirt freshman quarterback Sam Levitt?
Dude, this is a basketball postgame show. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by Ruby, the remote boy, and of course, Captain Redbeard behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Guys, do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. This is a tough one.
Okay, come on.
This is a tough one.
Come on. Can we all just get real?
It's time for a walk of shame because your Arizona State Sun Devil basketball team, in an exhibition, lost to number 7 Duke, 103-47. Erik, that was gross.
Cut the music. Guys, come on. We are not going to be all doom and gloom because they lost a charity exhibition game on the road against Duke with a team full of transfers, 17-year-old freshmen, like basically 2 returning players. Come on.
They lost by 56 points.
To Duke. They have like the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft, man. Like, it wasn't fun. There were some cool moments, but like, come on. We cannot be like,
56 points.
Bro, it's not a huge deal. When this game got scheduled, I literally told you it's perfect because no matter what happens, it doesn't matter, right? Like
no, it doesn't matter, but I will say if you're Arizona State, this should be a wake-up call of like, hey, this is what you're going to see every single night in Big 12 play.
Yeah, I don't expect them to play like this, for every game going forward. I expect this to be the worst that they play. I just kind of expected them to start slow. I mean, Like I mentioned though, like you have a bunch of transfers who haven't played together, 3 freshmen who obviously have not played together, and your returning players and Adam Miller and Sean Phillips. It's not like, this like pass first point guard who sets everybody up and orchestrates the offense, right? Like you don't have like your sense of identity yet. So I didn't expect them to look good. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more, and I think you can maybe focus on individual players and say what were some good and what were some bad things that we saw. But like, if you didn't expect this team to get the doors blown off them today, then I don't know what you're talking about.
Competitive for a second, at least. It wasn't even competitive.
I think for the first second it was.
I don't even think it was.
Both teams held scoreless for the first second. So.
After that, Kon Knueppel just kind of like crazy, dude.
The names on this Duke team, man. There's some great names and some great names because they're bad names.
Yeah, is Kon Knueppel a good name or a bad name?
Because it's a bad name.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Look, you will obviously get into the numbers on the postgame show. There still is bottle service to give out. We've got some takeaways, some closing time. So buckle up, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. Let's lock in. Let's talk ASU hoops because I think at the end of the day, we could say college basketball is back. Right.
Yeah, and Bobby Hurley was yelling at an official
in a charity exhibition game.
It's like a groundhog seeing his shadow. Like nope. College basketball is here. Bobby Hurley is angry.
That's fair.
And I mean, I don't say that in like an anti-Bobby way.
Yeah.
I say that in like a pro-Bobby. I love that. I love that about him.
I think this is a good, like I said, it's going to be a wake-up call for Arizona State to let them know, hey, this is what you're going to see every single night. But I also think this is a solid measuring stick for this team. So when you do have your season opener against Idaho State in just a couple weeks, you know what you need to work on, right? And obviously Idaho State is not a Duke. Like, I understand that. But offensively, you need to find some sort of rhythm because there wasn't at any point offensively I don't think you could point and be like, we saw something offensively that we need to work on. It's everything offensively they need to work on. Defensively, they had some moments, but you saw Duke offensively, like it's the number 7 team in the nation. They've got scores 10 deep, like they were saying on the broadcast. And you have the number 1 recruit in this past recruiting class in Cooper Flagg.
Right. And you also okay. Was there a lot of good to pull from today? No. And was there
even a little?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm Mr. Spin Zone. Are you kidding me?
Okay, let's hear it. Rubus the remote boy.
Jayden Quaintance looked very mobile and agile on defense. He was moving around a lot off the ball. I think he definitely had some 17-year-old playing at Cameron Indoor Stadium against number 7 team in the country moments.
Yeah.
In his college basketball debut, but he had the instincts. You saw the athleticism. I won't mention the jump shot yet, but he showed that he has the instincts to play, and you could see how he could be the best player on this team at some point this season.
Yeah.
Pretty easily, honestly, because of that baseline. So I think that's a positive for sure. Bashir Jihad is really good at drawing fouls. Really good.
It's Jose Perez 2.0.
Yeah, Jose Perez 2.0. He's better than Jose Perez.
Okay, interesting take.
Oh, I mean, well, he's not going to quit.
He might stick around longer.
Yeah, he's not going to quit on the team. Yeah. There are some positives you could pull from, but it all comes from individual talent. I think a lot of the things that you were saying is like there's no offensive identity. It didn't really seem like a lot of guys were moving, and there's, some reason to worry if that's a theme early on, but right now it's like, okay, let's give them a couple games.
How much of that do you think was the team not being ready, and how much of it do you think was just Duke defensively is a premier team?
Oh, I think it's more the latter. I refuse to believe that this team wasn't ready. I just think that based off of circumstances, and I'm not trying to be spin zone homer, you shouldn't lose 47-103. That shouldn't happen.
You got doubled up.
Right? There was a lot of mistakes, bad shots, poor shot selection. There was a lot of really bad stuff, right? But coaching wise, I refuse to believe that they came into this game not being like, hey, this is going to be a tough challenge. But realistically, you have zero chemistry. You have a lot of youth, and you haven't played an actual basketball game together.
Yeah.
A lot of youth in the fact that Quaintance was basically your best player tonight. Right?
Not basically, he was.
He's 17 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Your best player was 17 years old against number 7 Duke. And nobody else has really played together besides training camp.
Yeah, but this is not the youngest team in the world. I will say that because there are a lot of seniors in this roster. There are a lot of elder statesmen when it comes to that starting lineup.
But none of them have played
Mason,
together.
Adam Miller, BJ Freeman. They practiced together for months.
It's different.
That can't. I get it. I get it's different. I totally understand that, and that I think is the whole reason why this game was scheduled for Bobby Hurley. Yes, it's nice to go back to Cameron Indoor. Yes, it's a charity exhibition, but at the end of the day, Bobby Hurley wants to coach a winning basketball team.
Yeah,
right. And before you play in the Big 12, where you're playing Houston, Arizona, Baylor, Iowa State, night in and night out, I think this is a solid opening night test that doesn't count toward your record. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, again, going to be the theme, right? This team may not have an identity, but the theme of the schedule early on is going to be, you're going to get tested every single night. So when conference play rolls around, it is not going to be a slap in the face. This is something that you are going to be used to at this point, going up against tournament teams, a team in Duke that's going to compete for a national title this season. You've got games against Florida. You've got games against Gonzaga. You've got games against GCU. You have some really difficult non-con matchups, and this is going to be just the tip of the iceberg for Arizona State's season if they don't figure it out.
Well, I mean, that's the Bobby Hurley thing, right? Is you just jump into the fire. He's never been afraid to schedule a tough non-con, and you're right, he wants to coach a winner. I saw somebody tweet, and I apologize if I'm not remembering. I mean, I am not remembering who it is, so I'm sorry. Who's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby low-key wanted them to just get blown out so that he can get angry and point at the film and say light a fire under them. We'll see. This is going to be in the documentary, so that should be fun. This is it? Was it fun to watch the first time? And what would make it fun to watch a second time? Okay, let me rephrase that. It will only be fun if they end up being really good, right? And it's wow, look at where they started to where they went to, but You know,
I see what you're doing. This is all the Cinderella story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how it starts.
Oh, that's the Spin Zone,
Mr. Spin
right?
Zone's here. He's
Mr.
arrived.
Mr. Spin Zone's a good nickname, by the way.
Mr. Spin Zone is Jayden Quaintance after what he did early on in this game.
That was good.
That's what I got for you, man.
Good. I feel, for a 50-point loss in a preseason exhibition game, I feel like we're kind of ripping right now.
I mean, it's what we got to do.
We just miss talking basketball, right?
It's just college sports.
Yeah.
I mean, we just did a whole week of shows on a bye week for football.
Okay, so I have a question for you, but I want to ask it on the other side of this break.
That works.
Because I'm here to tell you about our good friends over at Sanderson Ford, and I know that if you're listening right now, you probably know exactly who Sanderson Ford is. You know that they've been family-owned and operated in the Valley right here for over 3 generations. You probably know that they're like the #1 Ford dealership ever, basically. You've heard the commercials, you've heard the song, you've heard all of it, and Sanderson Ford lives up to all of the expectations. Their 65-acre facility makes it the largest Ford dealership in the nation. They are most awarded Ford dealership for customer satisfaction in America, not just the state, in America, and they're here to get you in the right car. Head to Sanderson Ford and check out the new F-150 trucks with 3.9 financing for 60 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back as well. And pick up a free pair of tickets to see Weezer, Sublime, and more at November nights while supplies of 100 tickets last. No purchase or test drive is even required. Disclaimer: offer 2024 F-150 STX OAC from Ford Credit. 1 pair of tickets per household and requires a valid driver's license. Woo!
Heat.
Made that.
Have you ever heard the song Dollar Dollar Bill, y'all?
Yes.
That song is actually about branded bills.
Is it?
It is. It is.
Please
Breaking
enlighten
a
me.
lot of people don't know that.
I don't know that.
But Wycliffe was just so obsessed with branded bills and all they have to offer. And I mean, how could you not, right? It's the perfect headwear and apparel. They've got snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, tees. They have everything that you could ask for. They've got you covered with performance and style. They've got hats for ASU. Like you say, every single day they do charity with the U of A. So they've got something.
It's real nice of them.
For everybody.
Yeah.
It's part of their campus collection. It's a local company from Mesa, Arizona, guys. So if you are looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order and their dedicated team is going to help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. Head to brandedbills.com and use that code PHNX for 20% off your first order.
David in the chat gets it. Says, Erik says we got them right where we want them.
That's fair. Bear 520 down. Interesting that he's in the chat. Haven't seen him all football season.
Yeah, that's really, you know what? That is interesting, right? Bear 520 down says ASU is not a Power 5 athletics program. Yeah. And
their football team just lost to West Virginia yesterday.
Yeah, without all of West Virginia's best players at home.
At home.
By the way.
Yeah, not
at
good.
home.
Not good.
Hey, take care of your own
Tony,
problems.
I've missed you. We haven't seen you in a while either.
Tony.
Another U of A fan.
Oh, man.
Look at them. They're coming out of the
woodwork.
woodwork.
Right?
You guys crawl out of your caves under the bridge or what?
It's
you guys
so
all
weird.
came out at the same time? That's crazy.
It's so funny because the difference is that their team is actually sucking when it counts and with expectations.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is a preseason charity exhibition game. So I'm
A,
glad
baby.
that this is your victory. Enjoy not bowling.
That's fair. That's fair. Guys, do us a solid. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review.
Shameless plug right here on PHNX Sports.
Do it.
Your boy, Mike Luke and I, we did a Southwest bias earlier last week, I guess, because Sunday technically means it's next week, on if Brent Brennan should get fired. And Mike's answer was yes. So if
No, laid off.
Sorry, laid off. So if you're needing some more content after your loss last night, which, fun times, go ahead and check that out. That might suit you. So PHNX Sports right here. Just click that. If you're already here watching the ASU show, right? Anyway.
You want to stop bullying them just for a little bit?
I think I'm done. I'm sorry.
We'll get back to the game. It's okay. Don't let them get to you guys. It is now time for By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Erik, of course, the only number that matters is that final score. Arizona State dropping this one to Duke, 103-47. The leading scorers for each team: Jayden Quaintance with 11 for the Sun Devils. On the other side for the Blue Devils, it was Kon Knueppel with 19 points. The way these two teams shot from the field, 54% for the Blue Devils, 28 for your Sun Devils. 3-point percentage is just absolutely wild. 50%, the flip of a coin for Duke, 25% for Arizona State, and turnovers 18-7. Just not great. Erik, you're laughing all the way through. What set you off there, man?
What a hilarious box score. I'm choosing not to be angry about this. Like, I'm choosing not to be upset.
You're choosing like
La La Land.
Yeah, sunshine.
I'm choosing La La Land. Like, that's so funny. I'm sorry. Yes. Karen says brutal and embarrassing. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But guys, come on. Like, it's Duke in a preseason charity exhibition game. Like, come on. But
this is the thing. Is if you remove charity exhibition game, does this game go any different? No.
Okay. But if they also played Duke in the first game of the season, I wouldn't lose my mind, right?
No, but if you lose by 56 points,
okay,
any sport,
my hot take
in any sport, give me a sport where losing by 56, you turn around and say, it's not that bad.
Stop. Okay. Yeah. Listen. All I'm saying, my hot take, if this is a regular season game, I guarantee they don't lose by 56 points. 55 at worst.
There you
55 at worst. No, I think if you play this game, like if you play Duke like 75% of the way through the season and you lose like this.
You lose by 30 probably.
Maybe, right?
Probably 40.
Maybe, again, you might be forged through the Big 12. Guys, sure it sucks, but I don't know. Did you walk in here today and been like, we're gonna have
no, that's not what it is though. That's not
high expectations here.
No, my expectations weren't to see a win, and I don't think a lot of people in the chat are watching.
Your expectations were to see a win?
No. I'm saying they weren't to see a win. I think a lot of people in the chat that are ASU fans probably weren't expecting to see a win either. But I think what this fan base was looking for and at least aiming to see a little bit of was a little bit more competitiveness, a little bit more drive. And I think you got that individually from certain players at moments. I think Jayden Quaintance showed tremendous amount of hustle, productivity, in his first ever collegiate game. I think you got to tip your cap to him. I think there are moments that you saw Alston Mason try and lead a little bit of an offense. It sputtered a lot of the way through the game. And then, of course, Bashir Jihad. I think he had his moments as well, just trying to set a pace to this game, obviously drawing some fouls. I believe he tied Quaintance with 11 points. But other than that, there wasn't consistency offensively. No. There wasn't any sort of effort defensively. Like this team came out flat. So it has nothing to do with the fact that Duke beat them by 56 points. I would be fine if they lost by 56 points and they showed like they wanted to be there.
Yeah.
But for me, it didn't look like that. It didn't look like there were players out there that were like, oh my goodness, this is my first ever collegiate basketball game, or this is my first game on a new team. I'm at a legendary arena where our coach carved his legacy and we get the opportunity to challenge ourselves for the first game of the season. That's not what this was.
No, but okay, you're right. And I am not responding to this like this to say that you are wrong. I'm just saying
I'm not wrong, but go ahead.
Okay. I literally just said that. You don't have to fight me on it. I'm not. You are. You are. You definitely are. No. So here's the thing. You're right on all these things. But the offense not being run in these individual moments of people shining, like that's what happens when a team doesn't have chemistry, when a team's not organized. Let me draw like a personal comparison here, okay? Let's just say I know somebody who joined a men's league basketball team with some coworkers. And this I'll say he's a podcaster, really good friend, really close, know him very well.
Okay.
He knows the two people on the team, but he doesn't know everybody on the team. And, those people have not played basketball together, like really ever, right? You're just kind of showing up, you're meeting somebody for the first time and you're playing. It's really hard for that team to play well cohesively. And they might lose by, I don't know, let's say like 40 to 50 points.
Every night.
It might happen. It might happen, right? It's like sometimes that just happens. Now, the difference between them and, ASU,
your close friend,
my very close friend, and ASU is that, of course, ASU's had some time to play together and practice, but like realistically on the court against opponents, they haven't played together. And going forward, they actually have a coach and a system and a season and consistency to go ahead and fix that. And what I'm not going to do is get upset a lot right now at this, unless once we start seeing some real games, I know the result, it's not going to be 103-47, but if the same problems persist and there's no evolution and there's no offensive identity, then like this anger is going to be like stockpiled and built up towards the end. But like right now, you can't put expectations on it. Like it sucked. They were really bad. There's no way around it. But like, why lose your mind over something
I'm
that
not
like
losing my mind? I feel like I'm not losing my mind.
I'm just saying, like in general, like I just
we're on the same side here.
Are
Erik.
we?
I think we are. I think you're just going off to La La Land. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
JJ in the chat, appreciate you guys holding this show. Truly the coverage. Absolutely. Also, JJ in the chat, but there's no sugarcoating how bad this was.
No sugarcoating. Just it's how much do you actually like take into account, right? Like just flush it.
Well, yeah, you got to flush it. And again, there were moments, right? There were obviously moments, and there were individual performances that I think are worth noting. And that is going to take us to bottle service. Bottle service, I think you could argue for two players, but realistically, it's got to be the 5-star freshman, Jayden Quaintance, 11 points, 2 blocks, 6 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal in 31 minutes. The only player that played more minutes than Jayden Quaintance tonight was Alston Mason, who played 32. Loved the energy, loved the hustle. I would just like to see it get a little bit more under control, but I think that is easily something that when you're talking about this game in the grand scheme of things, I think that is, he had a really solid night. This is what you'd love to see against a number 7 team from your 17-year-old 5-star freshman in his very first game. The comfortability, the under control, I think is going to just come in time with him.
He looked like a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's okay because he looked like a really talented, really strong, like 17-year-old who has all the intangibles. He's going to get better every single time that he plays. You're going to see him even throughout games. I think you saw it in this one. Like he looked better as time went on.
Yeah.
And he's like, going up against an Idaho State is going to be a lot easier of an entrance into real college basketball than like even charity match Duke, right? Because even though this is the charity match, like Duke is taking it seriously because you're in front of your crowd and that hypes you up. And there's a lot of freshmen there, right? And they want to make an impact. Cooper Flagg is there and he wants to be the number 1 overall pick. Like they're going to put effort into it.
Yeah.
So I think Jayden Quaintance is going to be set up a lot better now. He's like, okay, I've done it against Duke. I didn't do great, but I did the spin move and the slam. I got a couple blocks. Like I played good defense. Now I'm going to go up against an Idaho State and I'm going to feel confident. And if he's playing confident and he just controls everything and reins it in, Totri, he's going to be a really, really good player. Not just like in terms of ASU, but in terms of like Big 12 big men.
Yeah. No, I am 100% with you on that. I think, again, he is one of the lone bright spots. I want to get to one other player that I think, and I think you would agree with me, had a pretty solid night, kind of a surprising solid night, but I want to do it on the other side of this break.
Did not indulge in a neutral tonight. We'll have to wait for another day. I'm driving home.
Just
you
a
have
sad
to make
neutral
sure
boy.
you have to make sure that you drink responsibly.
You do.
Because when you drink neutral, you're going to enjoy it, and you're probably going to want more than one because it's just a real good vodka seltzer with simple ingredients, just like, vodka seltzer, which is your main ingredients you want in a vodka seltzer, and then real juice. None of that fake stuff, none of the artificial stuff. And they have fantastic flavors that make you think, really? There's no artificial stuff in here? And there's not. Your basics, pineapple, watermelon, black cherry, orange, but I love, and you can vouch for this. Captain Redbeard behind the mat can vouch for this. Love the lemonade pack.
It's good.
4 bangers: lemonade, strawberry lemonade, peach lemonade, and blackberry lemonade. Bang, 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 bang. All delicious, all neutrals. Neutral, keep it tasty, enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Neutral is a flavored vodka and carbonation drink out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Also, a bunch of great stuff from our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Nobody does it better, guys. You could visit any of their 4 locations. I know me personally, I think Erik can vouch for this as well. Our personal favorite is Wild Horse Pass, and a lot of that has to do not only with the amazing options they have in terms of food and drinks, entertainment, but also the fact that we have a lot of our watch parties over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Definitely be on the lookout for Cards and Sons watch parties all season long. Stay tuned for more info on how you guys can come hang out with the whole PHNX crew. And look, if you're somebody that wants to take a staycation, or maybe you just need to indulge right? After a long day of work, will go all in with over 4,500 slots and live table games, or catch all the action at any of their sports books. Guys, earn entries for Ferrari Fortunes every Friday at 7 p.m. Winners are drawn for cash prizes and free bonus play. The grand finale will take place on November 1st at Wild Horse Pass, where one lucky winner is going to win a Ferrari 488 GTB. You do you at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. Rhonda in the chat. Hey, fellas, I know this was an exhibition game, but should we be worried about the offense?
If it looks like this consistently, yes.
What is your level of worry right now?
Out of 100. Out of 100?
Spit, go.
Like a 35. Because there are definite problems that needed to be addressed, but I feel like a broken record now, but all the moving parts and the pieces, no continuity, bunch of young guys, maybe the hardest place to play in college basketball against one of the best teams with the best player in the country on it. And like they're probably more fired up to play this game than like some random middle of the season against a lowly team that they know they're going to beat, right? Because it's their first time touching a basketball.
You don't think
playing.
They thought they were going to beat this team?
Oh no, they did, but they got but they're extra excited because it's like their first game, right?
No,
if it was like game like 15, they'd be a little bit less excited.
Mike, get out of here.
Yeah, what's up? But here's the thing. If this becomes a pattern, yes, give Bobby a chance to prove that he can maybe find a way to utilize high-level talent that he hasn't been able to before. And so that is a worry for sure. That's like probably 10 to 15%. And then the other 20 is just like, you want to see them fix it before you cannot worry about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. What's yours out of 100?
I would say a 47.
Okay. We're not that far off.
No, I don't think, like I said, I'm not totally worried, but you got to be disappointed, I think, based off of the effort, energy, that type of stuff from what you saw from this team.
Yeah.
The offensive stuff has been an issue for the last handful of seasons. Again, a lot of these transfers, it's going to take some time for them to really gel together. The same thing goes for the freshmen, and I think you'll see it. But I teased before we went to break, there was another player not named Jayden Quaintance that I thought played better than I thought he was going to, and that's Bashir Jihad. 11 points, like I said, tied for the most on the team with Jayden Quaintance. Had 3 boards on the night, also grabbed a steal as well in just 19 minutes. I thought he was pretty productive off the bench. And if you're able to get that level from him off the bench, whether that be kind of slowing down the pace in terms of drawing fouls, or if the team just needs a bucket like they did tonight, being able to get to the line and making your free throws, something this team has not been good for years on end now. And 6 of 7 from the charity stripe tonight. That is one of the only categories that Arizona State actually beat Duke in, was free throw percentage. So
huge.
If you want to find a silver lining,
that's it.
Your Arizona State Sun Devils can shoot from the free throw line.
Oh, here's if we clipped this and made it like super clickbaity, Arizona State Sun Devils fixed their biggest weakness.
In 56-point loss to Duke.
56-point loss to Duke. I was really high on Bashir when he transferred over here. He kind of has all like the tools to be a good big scoring wing. It's just whether or not he could put that all together. He had some weird shots, like that banked in 3 for sure was a little funky, right?
But if it goes in, that's all that matters.
He was really good at drawing contact and getting into the foul line. And at certain points in this college basketball season, you need just to get some points on the board, and your offense is stalled out. And ASU's offense stalled out a lot today. So if you can have somebody that you throw them the ball and they get to the line, that's a good positive to have. However, I think one of the downsides, or one of the things I didn't like to see with Bashir, was there was a point where he was playing center and he was the primary initiator and ball handler. And
doesn't make sense.
No, it just doesn't. Not when you have Joson, Sanon, and I think Adam Miller was out there. And
I think Amir Ali was out there.
I think Amir Ali and maybe Nunez. Well, it was a bunch of guards, of guards and small wings. And I want you to be used as a screener, roller. You can pop and everything. That's a fun lineup, and that was just a super slow way to use it. So that's not really his fault. But I didn't like that. I thought he played well, but you need to get more out of BJ Freeman. Sean Phillips Jr., more fouls than points in 11 minutes.
The new Gaffney?
One of the most impressive fouls I've ever seen.
Which
the foul? One where he met Maluak at the rim. I hope I pronounced his name right.
You definitely did not.
Yeah. Whoops. when he met him at the rim but like fouled him. But
yeah,
he got really
that
high
was pretty early.
It was impressive.
Yeah,
it was impressive.
Steve Kime, School of Drinking, with a 199
My
super chat.
favorite super chatter name.
Respectfully, U of A would never. Maybe
probably
not in basketball, but in football they definitely would.
Yeah, no, you guys save your embarrassing losses.
That is a
for
great
March Madness.
YouTube name, though. Like, you got to give it to him.
No, yeah, I don't think U of A would have lost this game 103-47.
I know somebody, JJ in the chat, thoughts on Sanon. I do want to expand on not only Joson Sanon, but just the guards in general. Alston Mason, BJ Freeman, Adam Miller. None of those guys played particularly well tonight. Alston Mason, 2 of 9 from the field, 4 points in 32 minutes. BJ Freeman, 6 points, 2 of 9, with only 20 minutes logged tonight. Adam Miller, 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field. He only played 20 minutes. And then if you want to get into Sanon as well, 6 points, 2 of 6 shooting in 24 minutes.
Not a lot of good in there. Again, I'm not freaking out. I did want to see Sanon, 6 shots. Didn't feel like he forced anything at most points, but he did seem like eager. Mm-hmm. I want him to get in a rhythm, but I also want him to be like purposefully set up with somebody who has like that level of scoring talent, just like naturally. And again, this is a tough game to do it, but run some plays for him. Early. Like, especially if you're going to bring him off the bench. We've had the whole conversation about who would be the best off the bench, and I had a very unorthodox answer we don't need to get into right now. But I think there is a world where if you are bringing Joson Sanon off the bench, you would have to involve him in your offense more than if you started him, just from purely a confidence perspective, right? Because you're saying, hey, we're going to put you in here, but if we put you in and we don't run stuff through you, I mean, there's just no way that he's going to find a rhythm, and he's a rhythm player. So I want to see that. I think BJ Freeman will be fine. I think once you just play better teams and other people can open up, his kind of isolation heavy game will not be as crowded.
You're real Jose Perez on the team.
I think Short Bus in the chat sums it up for me, and sorry for like saying this over and over. It's like who cares? This was an exhibition for charity.
Soft answer,
dude. It's like you got to pick and choose your battles, man. I'm gonna get irrationally upset over every single loss in this actual regular season. I cannot get irrationally upset about this one.
Yeah, and like I said, I think this gives you a good idea of what you need to work on, and for the guards, you need to work on everything. I think you need to be able to. You need to create and find better shots.
Yes, there was a lot of forcing.
Because you go back to years past with Bobby Hurley teams offensively. And again, I know it's a charity exhibition game against Duke. Like, I get it. I get the pressure's on. I get that it's not the actual start of the season, whatever. And this team will look far more ready than they did tonight, or at least that's what you would hope. Mm-hmm. But for the past 3-4 seasons with Bobby Hurley teams, what has been the complaint? Right? That offensively, this team can't shoot the ball, that we're playing one-on-one basketball. It's a lot of isolation. And if somebody gets hot, it goes great. If somebody's not, then nobody else on the team can really follow through. And that's what you saw tonight. You saw a lot of offense that sputtered, that had no rhythm, that it looked like guys were forcing shots because they didn't necessarily trust the pass that was there. And that's something that you can't afford to happen late in the season. That's something that you can't afford to happen against NCAA caliber teams in non-con. Like, I get it if you want to write it off as, it's a charity exhibition, we're just doing what we do. But when you play Idaho State a couple weeks from now, you better know how to create shots. You better find a way to get in a rhythm early.
Yes.
If I'm Alston Mason and I'm the point guard of this team, you can't be the point guards of the past on this team, right? And all love to Frankie Collins for what he did. He was an unorthodox point guard. He wasn't a traditional point guard. That's not necessarily what he was, right? He was an athletic freak. There were games where he could have 10 assists and no points, and there were games that he could have 20 points, no assists. But that's not what a point guard should be, right?
Yeah.
You got to create offense and take your scoring options when they're there. And tonight, that wasn't there, not just for Alston, but it wasn't there for any of the guards.
No. If this continues to if this is how they play, then I'm gonna then I'm gonna freak out. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want from me, dude. Like, you're right. Yeah, this is how Bobby Hurley offenses, how Bobby Hurley teams have failed in the past.
I don't know what you want.
I don't know what you want. Like yes, you're right. Everything from this game is so clear to me. It's so clear to me. Maybe
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
I think I just thought of my aftertaste. Yes, from the Blind Mouse. Yes,
I forgot about that nickname.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking, if let's say you play Idaho State, let's say you get a couple of games into the regular season for ASU men's basketball. Let's get like 4 or 5
games. Not including this one?
Not including this one.
Real ones.
Okay. And this offense looks the same. It's unorganized. There's not a lot of people moving. Nobody's getting plays drawn up for them. Then you start having some serious questions about Bobby Hurley as a coach. And I know that maybe feels a little extreme and a little early, and I'm kind of shifting from like one pendulum to the other. But we ended last season with the Utah loss and wondering, is Bobby's time up, right? And then he goes and he recruits his butt off, and he puts in a lot of hard work that coaches aren't willing to put in on that side of college athletics, right? And it works out for him from a numbers perspective. But if he doesn't get that talent on the same page, say a couple of minutes, right? A couple of games into the season, then you start having some serious questions about like, what can you do with this talent? Because your best teams all had the same problem. It was, there's so much individual talent on this that they're kind of overcoming not having a game plan, not really,
or just having a team,
right? Not really like playing together. But again, like your turn, my turn, and that's not winning basketball. So, this is one of those games that you look back on, and depending on how they perform in the season, you either read too much into it one way or the other. Where if they do really well, you're like, wow, this was a wake up call. Why did we overreact? But if they do poorly, it's like this was coming all along. Nothing from this game matters until they play other games. Yeah. That's just the way that it is.
That's fair. You want to get an aftertaste?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Aftertaste, the most sus segment on the network that is self-proclaimed. We just talk about what this game tasted like, right? In a pretty sus way. Yeah. So, Erik, I'm going to start with you. What was flung into your Knueppel tonight?
A double shot of vodka when you weren't expecting to drink vodka.
What were you expecting? Like water?
Yeah.
It was like you went into the fridge and you grabbed like a water bottle that you thought was like half open. It's cold. You grab it. Boom. It's vodka.
Punch you in the face.
It's like a Monday at 9 a.m. Like you're just thirsty.
Yeah. It's a Sunday at 4 o'clock. Bang.
You're like, this is awful.
And it just, it hits you, and then you just don't really recover after that.
Well, that's not what you've been saying on this post game at all.
No, I'm talking about like the game. It's like never recovered. After that.
Yeah. No,
I'm fine. If you
Sounds
can't
like
tell,
somebody who's not fine, guys. That's all I'm saying. That's what everybody who's not fine says.
Well, we all know that I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna cry and I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's on you.
Yes. What about you?
Well, I want to ask Captain Redbeard what was flung into his Knueppel tonight.
Come back to me.
Come back to you?
Yeah.
Okay, this one for me tasted like it tasted like just straight mayonnaise on a spoon. Looks pretty on the outside, right?
You think mayonnaise is pretty?
Well, I think it's a pretty condiment.
You look at the way.
I think it's a pretty condiment.
It's all
white, dude. It's like silver.
No,
It's like
stop.
Let me save this.
Stop. No, I'm digging your grave for you.
It's a pretty condiment, man.
I need mustard, ketchup, relish, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce. I need it tiered on pretty condiments, right? So
pretty condiments.
What's the prettiest condiment out of all of that?
The prettiest condiment is mustard.
Why?
And then mayo. It's gold.
Some of it's like brown.
Well, I don't like that kind of mustard.
Mustard, mayo.
Yeah. Mustard, mayo, ketchup.
Okay.
Relish. What is the other one?
Barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce.
Really? You put relish with barbecue sauce?
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's relish is like bedazzled, like a bedazzled condiment.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
You took us there.
Hey, we gained 5 viewers. We gained 5 viewers when we were doing that.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, it's a spoonful of mayo.
Pretty condiment. And then you taste it and you're like, this is shite. This is just not good.
It's just really bad.
This is really bad.
Yeah.
I hate mayonnaise.
Yeah. I mean, and Duke is like the mayoist of mayos.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg is the ultimate mayo.
Yeah, he's ultimate mayo.
Ultimayo?
Yeah, he's the ultimate mayo.
Ultimate mayo. Wait,
what was flung into your Knueppel?
Wait, that's actually a great nickname for Cooper Flagg. The Ultimayo?
No.
Come on. That's good. Did you have your answer, Kyle?
I have not yet.
So what are you doing?
Get it together.
How do I follow up this? I mean,
I don't know.
Crazy.
Spoonful of mayonnaise and double shot of vodka after a plastic bottle that you didn't expect.
I was thinking like really, really, really old coffee. Like, have you ever had like expired, like really old coffee?
No, that seems like it's
sounds
extensively old.
You just immediately go to the bathroom. So that was this game.
It just took us straight to the toilet.
Yep. straight to the toilet.
Oh, because you gotta flush it. Yeah. You gotta flush it.
There you go.
Leave it in the past.
Let him know,
Move
Rubens.
on.
Let him know.
Charity
Screaming
game.
from the rooftops.
I think we have somehow turned this into such a fun show. We really have. We really have. Let's have a little bit more fun, but let's do it after our final break.
Circle K!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we are in Studio K, of course, presented by our friends over at Circle K. They helped us put together this amazing studio. We got the Circle K snacks back there, the Circle K sign. And we don't just love Circle K because of the snacks and the sign. I personally love Circle K, not only because they're a great partner, but because they help me save money. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys can save money too. All you got to do is join the Inner Circle. It's their free membership program. Super easy to download, super easy to sign up as well. Enter your email and phone number to be fully enrolled in it. After that, all you need is your phone number to get deals, guys. In that quick span, ASU fell down by 20 points. When you start to get those deals, we're talking saving 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups and so much more. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members like you can get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Whoa, you ended that one really fast.
That's what I do, man.
It is what you do. You know what Desert Financial Credit Union does?
Tell me.
The best. They do the best because they're Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union dedicated to creating exceptional experiences for people like me. And I don't just say that, because it says it on the ad copy. No, I'm serious. Through my family, through 3 generations, we have all used Desert Financial Credit Union. My grandmother used then Desert Schools, which is primarily for educators, when they moved here to Arizona when my dad was like 3 years old, right? So it's in my blood. You cut me open, I bleed maroon and gold, and then I also bleed out some Desert Financial as well. And you can show your maroon and gold spirit because ASU has 3 different Visa debit card designs for Desert Financial Credit Union customers. Plus, Desert Financial has your basics, checking, savings accounts, plus mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more, with many locations open all the time with bright, smiling faces to help. So you can show your ASU team spirit, open a free checking account online, get $200 plus your choice of 3 ASU Visa debit cards. Go desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
Couple things. Hit that like button.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Also, the newsletter. If you haven't done it already, I don't know what you're doing, but go to gophnx.com/newsletter. We have, I think it's safe to say, the best newsletter in Valley Sports.
More than just safe to say, encouraged to say.
Free, and it's daily content.
And it's actual writing. It's not an amalgamation of links.
An amalgamation of links.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Also, go become a diehard. What are the perks of becoming a diehard, Erik?
You get exclusive audio and video content, which we'll be ramping up now that your boy is a full-time host as well. We're going to get into a lot more fun stuff with there. Plus, you get access to our diehard Discord. You can talk ASU, Suns, Cardinals, U of A, Diamondbacks, Rising, hockey, everything. You can also get a free hat or a free shirt every year. You get an ad-free experience on our website, discount to our events. You get so much. And also, you can do it for a lot cheaper. It's now discounted to $48 for a yearly subscription. Go to gophnx.com and find that. Okay, final thoughts for this game.
Tell me what you got.
Okay, let me just talk a little positively about Jayden Quaintance. So he was a little bit out of control with this play, but the highlights showed that he knows exactly what he's doing. He has an incredible frame. He has incredible feel for the game. He moved around really smoothly on defense, picked up a couple blocks. The jump shot does need a little bit of work, and maybe a lot of bit of work, but I think his willingness to take it is encouraging, especially if they're going to play him at the 4. And honestly, I feel like he has done enough to show that he can realistically be ASU's best player not too far into the season. And for somebody that's 17 years old, playing for a team in one of the best conferences for basketball, I mean, probably the best conference for basketball in the Big 12, that means something.
Yeah.
So be happy, be excited about Jayden Quaintance, but also, there's ways to get better. Got to work on them now.
Absolutely. Do you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is.
Captain Redbeard, it's starting to hit that time. Bars closing early on a Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen.
Closing time, gentlemen.
It is closing time. This segment is powered by Neutral. Keep it tasty, Tempe. Enjoy responsibly. Normally we got 3 takeaways, but tonight, boys and girls, Sun Devil fans everywhere, we're keeping it classy with just one. It's just an exhibition.
Oh, now you're on with me.
It's just an exhibition, guys. Look, I know you wanted to see a little bit more from your Sun Devils tonight, but at the end of the day, they will find a way to get it done. This is not the end-all, be-all of the season. Remember, it's not how you start. It is how you finish. And for us, that is going to be the finish of tonight's PHNX Sun Devils
fun one.
post-game show. It's always
a fun show.
It's always a fun one with Dr. Rubis over here, guys.
That's not true.
Give him a follow at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You could follow the show at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow the captain of this ship, Captain Redbeard, at K Coop Sports. And guys, we will see you Monday at 1:30. We're talking ASU football against Oklahoma State. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.